Okay, last liner down. So as we get closer to the smoke chamber, some of the original mortar still in the joints. Some of the original mortar there, but still holes, still all missing in that area there. Slight shift. Slight shift, open mortar. A little bit of creosote in this flue here, so that shows the chimney was used. Now you can see the extent of the washdown from the rain. The chimney probably hasn't been used since they installed that chimney cap over the top. This is the transition, that needs to be tight, and so the smoke and heat are traveling in that direction. That's all gapped. This side looks okay. Alright, so continuing here at 19525 Valdez. This is the left side masonry part of the fireplace as you walk in the front door. Call it the dining room. And as I squeeze in here, you can see this needs to be repaired here, this little separation. Some mortar has fallen out of there, and that's moisture.
Yes, it is.
You can see this wood form here. So these wood forms are supposed to have been removed after the build of the fireplace. There's one. The last thing I failed to notate was the firebox. Firebox is solid, no cracks. The gas is capped. And I don't see a gas valve for this fireplace. And so a licensed plumber would come in and locate either a valve or install a new valve if need be. That would be on this side of the fireplace because it's on that side wall. Sometimes it's in this brick here. Sometimes they run it all the way up to the end.
It's quick service and they'll take care of it.
And so no valve is discovered. So right now this is just a wood burning fireplace. Okay, so we're at the last fireplace again. The gas is there. And there's the gas valve. So on the other fireplace, that's missing. And so what they did here is looks like they may have redone it after they went over the valve. Let me just check again to make sure it's not in front. They didn't do something similar. And I'm just going to double check under here. Nothing there. Again, no valve on this side of the fireplace. There should be a valve similar to this one. Okay. So anyway, we got the camera inside the flue. We're at the top. So that's your spark arrestor chimney cap. Your top liner.
How's everything else, Jack?
It's slightly flaked and smalled.
That's what I'll be shocked.
Not too concerned about the flue liner. So see more mortar in this fireplace. This is what it's supposed to be, what it looks like. But again, here's where to road it out. This is the back of the bricks.
Yeah.
Good installations.
Yeah, great.
And it's such a gap, our camera's actually getting stuck on it. But a little shift. Slight flaking. Okay, so again, a little bit more mortar in these joints. from less use. So when water and creosote mixes together, it evaporates the mortar. It's still a crack, or still an opening, not a crack, but an opening, eroded mortar joint. That's a horizontal eroded mortar joint. And that's very common in chimneys that didn't have the chimney cap. That's what it should look like, nice and tight. Recessed spark arrestor?
No, I think it just fell from the top. I think I knocked it down. Yeah.
Anyway, we got to get that out of there. Hopefully we'll drag it down with us. So this one did have one of those spark arresters on the top as well as the other side. And so both of those were non-code. Once the chimney cap was put on, those could have been taken out and removed completely. A little bit of a shift here so the liners aren't lining up. And so there's a special tool that we use to seal these horizontal joints. We put mortar onto a spatula and we put sticks, wooden sticks down into here, and then we splatch it up into the flue. Okay, so again, another one that's real open. That's what the original mortar should look like. And so the closer we get to the firebox, the more mortar we should see as we're getting less moisture down to this level. But gravity does do the work. That's white on the back wall, that's efflorescence, that's moisture, water. Again, seeing through to the outside bricks. More satisfactory on that side. Open again there. So we did get that spark arrestor. We pulled it all the way down with us, so it's now behind the shelf. We'll get that out of there. Open mortar joint. Okay. Open transition. So this is the smoke chamber. This is the last flue liner. So that's supposed to be nice and tight and sealed. Solid sealed mass is what's required of the interior of a masonry chimney. Proper spark arrestor chimney cap. And no structural movement. So again, I showed you the structure test. The ladder wasn't moving, so the chimney's not moving. The painted stack was a very good idea, but there's still a couple cracks in the crown that need to get sealed off so that water doesn't get behind the paint and start causing the paint to peel. And so I'll show you the rest from inside the firebox. This is your breastplate, and there's still some cedar wood forms that need to be removed. It's your damper. And we're out. Okay, so the gas jets are pointing here towards our eyes, so that needs to be adjusted. The actual gas pipe should run underneath the grate, so it should have been attached at that level there, run underneath the grate. There's that white efflorescence from moisture penetration. This needs to get sealed up. So we're looking in there to face those rocks. There's those cedar forms. There's the screen we pulled down. We'll pull that out of there. And so once these forms are removed, it needs to be resurfaced. It's mostly just the horizontal joints in this fireplace. Sealing the lintel area. No cracks in any of the fireboxes. Sealing up the crown. Like there's some mortar debris behind the damper that needs to be cleared. And so again, we won't test the gas because if we light this, the carbon monoxide is going to come back into the room because it's pointing out into this direction. And so again, that has to be repaired before we test it. The flue's big enough to draw the gas. There's no concern over that. Exposed brickwork needs to be coated. So overall, as we conclude this inspection 19525 Valdez, as we found the horizontal joints inside the flue liners missing their mortar. Otherwise, the transition was gapped and some work was needed at each lintel area and some forms removed. So the masonry chimney's pretty strong. And again, my last notation is that the gas valve was lost at the other side. So that concludes the inspection. So medium-sized repairs to the masonry chimneys. The prefab's going to be satisfactory and just needs a cleaning. We'll have to clean the other side fireplace. This side doesn't need a cleaning. And a licensed plumber would have to locate the old valve for the other side of the fireplace if there was one ever available. And so we'll follow up with email with the report and the estimates and a link to this video inspection. Okay, last thing we did. So again, when we restacked the logs, we allowed it to breathe better. So now it's breathing more efficiently. You can actually see some of the soot on the outside here. So I'm going to go grab our meter just to be real safe to make sure that this isn't leaking carbon monoxide, but I can tell that it's not at the moment. Be right back. Okay, so this meter here is a carbon monoxide TIF meter, so it's reading any combustible gas or carbon monoxide leaking. The reason I brought it in, you can see some of the discoloration here on the so where this carbon is leaking out. And so when we got here, the logs were stacked in properly. We've restacked the logs properly so that this breathes better. And so no carbon monoxide is leaking out the front any longer. So we've taken care of that minor problem, major problem. That's what it would sound like if there was carbon monoxide leaking out. So we're satisfactory now as far as this one. Just needs to get cleaned, and then we need to probably get that, not probably, but we need to just put a couple screws in the chimney cap so it doesn't blow off in some strong winds. And that takes care of all the inspections here at 19525 Valdez Drive in Tarzana. And the reports will follow with an email.